Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the fascinating history of the 1965 Washington quarter dollar coin from the United States of America. This is no ordinary coin. The year 1965 marks a major turning point in U.S. coinage history, the end of silver in circulation coins and the birth of the copper, nickel-clad quarter we still use today. So, grab your magnifying glasses, because this coin has an incredible story to tell. The origins of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The obverse, or front, was designed by sculptor John Flanagan, featuring a bust of Washington facing left. The word "Liberty" is boldly inscribed above, while the motto, "In God We Trust," appears to the left of Washington's portrait. The reverse, or back, of the coin, shows a majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows of strength and an olive branch of peace, a design also by Flanagan. This design remained largely unchanged from 1932 until the launch of the state quarters program in 1999, making the 1965 Washington quarter part of that long tradition. Why 1965 was a turning point now? Let's talk about why 1965 is such an important year. Up until 1964, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. These silver coins had intrinsic value because of their precious metal content. But by the early 1960s, silver prices were rising rapidly, and the melt value of coins began to exceed their face value. People started hoarding silver coins, causing a shortage of quarters, dimes, and half dollars in circulation. In response, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Coinage Act of 1965, which eliminated silver from the quarter and dime. Instead, the mint introduced a new, sandwich-style, clad composition. Outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This change saved silver for other uses while ensuring the mint could keep producing enough coins for daily commerce. So, the 1965 quarter became the very first U.S. quarter to be made without silver, making it a historic milestone. The look and feel of the 1965 quarter. At first glance, the 1965 Washington quarter looks very similar to its 1964 silver predecessor. Both feature Washington's portrait on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse, but here's how you can tell them apart. 1. Edge color. The 1965 quarter has a copper-colored stripe along the reeded edge, thanks to its copper core. Silver quarters, by contrast, appear solid silver all the way through. 2. Weight. The 1964 silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams, the 1965 copper, nickel quarter weighs 5.67 grams. 3. Sound. Silver quarters make a distinct ringing sound when dropped, while clad quarters sound duller. For collectors, these differences are crucial when sorting coins, minting and distribution. Interestingly, no proof quarters were struck in 1965. Proof sets were suspended during this transitional time, replaced by special mint sets from 1965 through 1967. This was another move to discourage hoarding. Also, the mint did not use mint marks from 1965 to 1967. So, all 1965 quarters look the same, regardless of whether they were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Collectability and value. Now, let's talk about what most of you want to know. What is a 1965 Washington quarter worth today? Because the 1965 quarter was minted in extremely high numbers, more than 1.8 billion coins. Most are still only worth their face value of 25 cents if they're worn from circulation. However, condition, rarity, and errors can make a huge difference. Circulated examples, still worth just 25 cents. Uncirculated coins, a nice, shiny example can fetch anywhere between $2 and $10, depending on grade. High-grade certified coins, MS-65 and above, can reach $20 to $50 or more at auctions. Special errors. Now here's where things get exciting. Valuable error coins. Some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets meant for 1964 coins. These rare transitional errors are highly sought after. A genuine 1965 silver quarter can be worth thousands of dollars, depending on condition. Other minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets, also add collector value, ranging from $50 to several $100s. So, if you happen to come across a 1965 quarter that looks silver instead of clad, don't spend it. have it authenticated by a grading service. Fun facts about the 1965 quarter one. The coin was part of the first wave of copper-nickel coins, paving the way for modern U.S. coinage. Point 2. No quarters dated 1965 were struck in silver for circulation, but a small number slipped through, making them rare treasures. Point 3. Collectors often call these transitional error coins, and they are among the most desirable mistakes in U.S. coin history. Tips for collectors: if you want to collect the 1965 Washington quarter, check the edge, look for the copper stripe versus solid silver, weigh the coin. A silver error will weigh 6.25 grams instead of 5.67 grams, grade matters, the higher the grade, the higher the value. Coins without scratches, wear, or discoloration are the most desirable. Buy from reputable dealers, especially when dealing with error coins, to avoid counterfeits. The 1965 Washington quarter dollar is more than just pocket change. It represents a turning point in American coinage, the shift from silver to clad coinage. While most 1965 quarters are common and worth just 25 cents, the history behind them makes them fascinating pieces for any collection. And if you're lucky enough to find a rare silver error, you could be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars. So next time you come across a quarter from 1965, don't dismiss it as ordinary. Take a closer look, because in the world of coin collecting, history and value often hide in plain sight. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the history of the 1965 Washington quarter. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow coin collectors. And remember, every coin has a story, you just need to know where to look.